Okay, so good morning, one and all. We are going to start today. What we have done is last class we have started. Okay, so last class we have started Unit 5, waiting lines. Okay, uh, what is there to remember in waiting lines? Mostly you will get problems from waiting lines. Okay, and from that problem also only that 7 to 8 formula. That is sufficient. If you can remember that 8 formula that I have given you in the last class, then each and every problem that is related to waiting line or queuing theory, you can be able to solve. Okay. So today what we are going to do is we will cover some 3-4 extra problem. Okay. What are the various possibilities of problem that you will get in the exam? Those things we will cover today. And we will complete this part today also. Clear? Thing is, if you have calculator, you just bring it out. Okay, take a rough copy, take a pen, and bring a calculator. Because in today's class we are going to solve only problems. Okay, problems related to waiting lines. Here, so one problem I will solve. Remaining problem, I will give the question, you have to solve here and you have to put the answer in the message box. Okay, so if you have calculator or anything like that, you just bring it out. 3 things, one is calculator, pen and paper. Okay, so be ready with that. Sorry. Okay, so we have started with, in the last class we have started with waiting lines. 1 minute. Okay, we have started with waiting lines. So here, what are the things you have to remember? The first thing is the definition you have to remember. Okay, and next is, okay, so this terminology, these all are 2 marks question. They will ask you what do you mean by single server system, what is the classification of multi-server system, whatever the terminologies I have given, those things you have to remember. Clear? And next is the queue structure. What are the different types of queue structure? Okay, so 3 types of queue structures are there in this unit. Okay, so the first queue structure is, this one is not working. Okay, so the first queue structure is first come and first serve. Next one is last come and first serve, and third one is service in random order. So like that, different are there. And the next one is that is the MM1 model. Okay, this model, MM1 model. This is important. I think in 2018 they have asked you one 5 marks question. Explain MM1 model. Okay, or they can ask you explain Kendall's notation, or they can ask you explain single channel unrestricted queue with infinite population. So these are the different types of question. For all these question, your answer should be common. What you have to do? First thing is you have to write the model. This is the model M/M/1 FCFS infinite and infinite. Okay, then you have to explain each term. Suppose this one is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, this is F. So all these things, what is A, B, C, D, E, F, you have to write. Okay. After that, in the same question, you have to write down all these relationship also. Relationships used in MM1 model. So what are the relationships? First thing is lambda. What is lambda? That is the mean arrival rate. How many customers are arriving per unit hour, that is lambda. And the next one is, this is actually mu. I have written wrongly, I have written lambda. This is actually mu. Okay, so mu is mean service rate. So this thing I will explain here. Okay, so these are the relationship that is used in MM1 model. First one is lambda. Okay, lambda means that is the mean arrival rate. Okay, and you remember one trick I will tell you, because whatever the question you will get in the exam, in that question, if this lambda value and mu value you can write correctly, then your job is done. Okay, what I am telling? Suppose one question is there. Okay, so suppose in that question, after reading the question, this lambda value and mu value, these two value, if you can identify correctly, means 90% of your problem is done. Because after that, what you have to do? You just have to put the formula and you will get the answer. Okay, so the only trick lies in lambda and mu. So such kind of problem today we are going to solve. Okay, so read the question very carefully. You identify the value of lambda and value of mu. Okay, what is lambda? Lambda is arrival rate. Rate means per unit time or per hour, per minute, per second. Okay, and what is mu? Mu means mean service rate. Okay, so one short trick I will give you. So how to from a question, how to determine lambda? It is mean arrival rate. So it is always the ratio between number of unit or number of customer divided by time. Okay, how many customers are arriving per unit time? That is nothing but your mean arrival rate. Similarly, mean service rate, it is service, number of service divided by time. Okay, how many services are being provided per unit time? Clear? These two things you should remember. Okay, and if you can calculate the value of lambda and mu, remaining 90% of your job is done. Okay, then some formulas are there. First formula is utilization factor or traffic intensity. What is that one? The probability that the server is busy. Utilization factor means the probability that the service is busy. That is denoted by rho, and formula of rho is lambda by mu. What is lambda? Lambda is mean arrival rate. What is mu? Mu is mean service rate. Okay, this is one formula. Like that, we have 7 more formula. The next formula is probability that the service is ideal, means there is no service. Okay, so that will be indicated by P naught, and P naught equal to 1 minus rho. Okay, rho value just now we have seen rho equal to lambda by mu. First you calculate lambda, that is first you calculate rho, that is lambda by mu, then P naught equal to 1 minus rho. Okay, and then the third formula is probability that there are exactly n number of customer in the system. There are exactly n number of customer in the system. So for that one, the formula is probability of n number of customer equal to rho to the power n whole into 1 minus rho. First you calculate this rho. How to calculate this rho? Rho equal to lambda by mu. Then what is n? N will be given in the question. It may be 5 customers or 10 customers or 20 customers. So it will be defined in the question. That value you put over here, you will get the probability. Next probability is probability that there are more than or equal to k units in the system, or k number of customer in the system. So it can be written as probability of n greater than or equal to k. that will be rho to the power k. Okay, this is the formula. So one problem today we are going to solve based upon this formula. And next one is, that is the most important formulas, last four. Okay, that is the average number of customer or average number of unit in the system, or it is also called as length of the system. Okay, I will tell you, system means it is the combination of the queue as well as the server. Okay, so length of the system ls equal to rho divided by 1 minus rho. Again, how to identify rho? Repeatedly I am telling, rho equal to lambda divided by mu. This is the way to calculate rho. Then put the rho value over here, you will get length of the system or number of units in the system. After that, next one is expected or average number of unit in the queue. Okay, so for that one, length of the queue or LQ equal to rho into LS. First, this LS value you calculate by using this formula. Then you put the value over here, you will get LQ. Okay, LQ means it is also called length of queue. Length of queue. Length of the queue or average number of unit in the queue. All are same thing. Last two formula we have. Last two formulas are expected or average waiting time in the system. In the entire system, what will be the waiting time? So waiting time is represented as W, and for the system it is S. Waiting time for the system is equal to LS by lambda. LS formula I have given you previously. So LS divided by lambda. Similarly, average waiting time in the queue. Waiting time in the queue, that is WQ. W means waiting time, Q means Q. Okay, waiting time in the queue equal to LQ by lambda. So only this much formula you have to remember, and this unit is completed. I mean, this chapter is completed. Clear? So last class already one problem I have done, and I have posted their PDF as well as video in the group. But I have seen only some 5 to 6 views are there in the video. Means except 5 or 6 people, nobody is watching the video. Okay. I don't know whether you are watching the PDF or what you are doing. I don't know, but my job I am doing. Okay. So today we are going to solve some more problems. Okay, so here is the question. Right. So this is the question. So what I told you, whenever you will get a question from this unit, the first thing is you have to calculate the value of lambda and mu. That is the first thing. If you can calculate the value of lambda and mu, 90% of your job is done. Okay. Now I will tell you how. The question is, in a car garage A, one car garage is there. The name of the garage is suppose capital A. It takes 15 minutes to wash one car. Okay. So can you tell me what is this 15 minutes? It is service rate or arrival rate? You put a message. The first line, in a car garage A, it takes 15 minutes. It takes 15 minutes to wash one car. Okay. So my question is, this 15 minute, is it service rate or is it arrival rate? Yes, it is service rate. Right, correct. So this 15 minutes is service rate. Okay. So I will write it. One simultaneously I will read the question and I will solve it. Yes, all are correct. It is service rate. Okay. So I will do it first, given data. First I will write car garage A. One car garage is there, that is car garage A. So for this garage A, what are the given data? First I will write. given data. Okay, so what is this one? The 15 minutes is, that is the service rate. So service rate is given, service rate. And what is the symbol of service rate? Okay, the symbol of service rate is mu. If you can see here, service rate is nothing but mu, and arrival rate is lambda. Clear? Okay. So service rate is given mu, that is how much it is. Okay, so mu value how much it is given. You can see in the question it given the service rate is 15 minutes. Okay, so shall I write mu equal to 15 minutes? Shall I write mu equal to 15 minutes service rate? Because in the question it is given it takes 15 minutes to wash one car. Okay, so shall I write service rate mu equal to 15 minutes? No, I cannot write. This is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because it is not, it is service rate, means time period. No, it is not 4. So the time period should be in the denominator. You see the formula, the time period should be in denominator. Okay, so mu means service divided by time. The time should always be in the denominator. This is called numerator, this is called denominator. Okay, so time period should always be in the denominator. Here also time period should always be in the denominator. Okay, if in the question, if in this question, if it is written, it takes 15 minutes per to wash one car, then mu should be 15. But it is written only 15 minutes to wash one car. Okay, so we have to identify per minute how many car it will wash. In 15 minutes, it will wash one car. Okay, so per minute, not 15 car. Per minute, it will wash 1 by 15 car. Clear? So no need to remember all these things, just remember the trick. The trick is, okay, the trick is time should be in the denominator, and if it is arrival rate, in the numerator there should be number of customer. If it is service rate, in the numerator there should be number of services. Okay, so here in that manner, in this question, it takes 15 minutes to wash. It takes 15 minutes to wash one car. Okay, so it is not 15 minutes, it should be how many car? One car, divided by how many minutes? 15 minutes. 1 divided by 15 per minute. Like that you write. This is the value of mu. Okay, next is cars arrive to the garage at an average of 1 every 25 minutes. The cars arrive to the garage at an average of 1, how many quantity? 1 every 25 minutes. Cars arrive means it is given arrival rate. Arrival rate. And what is arrival rate? Arrival rate is lambda. This is equal to, what is the formula? I told you, for number in the numerator there will be number of units, and in the denominator there should be the time. How many car? One car. So 1 divided by how many times? Every 25 minutes. So 1 divided by 25. Clear? Yes, correct. 348. Right. Clear? So this is the value of mu and lambda for garage A. Clear? So like this manner you have to find out mu and lambda. If you can correctly identify the value of mu and lambda, then half of your, more than 80% of your job is done. Remaining thing is just put the formula, get the answer. Clear? Okay. In a car, so once again I will read the complete question. In a car garage A, it takes 15 minutes to wash one car. Cars arrive to the garage at an average of 1 every 25 minutes, and arrival process is Poisson. Forget about all these things. We just concentrate on the numbers. Then one more car garage is there, that is the car garage B. In car garage B, it takes 25 minutes to wash one car, and cars arrive to this shop at an average of 1 every 45 minutes. Yes, A3, that is correct. Determine at which garage you expect the bigger queue. So one garage A is there, one garage B is there. For garage A, service rate is given, arrival rate is given. For garage B, service rate is given, arrival rate is given. Okay, you have to identify out at which garage, means out of garage A and garage B, at which garage you expect the bigger queue. What do you mean by bigger queue? In which garage the length of the queue is bigger. So for that, what you have to do? You have to calculate what is the length of the queue for garage A, what is the length of the queue for garage B. Then we will compare whether length of the queue for garage A is more or length of the queue for garage B is more. And the next one is at which garage you require more time of waiting, including the service time. Okay, so waiting time, we have two types of waiting time. We have two types of waiting time. One is waiting time in the system, one is waiting time in the queue. Okay, so in this question it is written at which garage you require more time of waiting, including service system. If you will include the service system, then that waiting time will be waiting time of a system. Okay, so you have to calculate what is the waiting time for garage A and what is the waiting time for garage B. Then we have to compare in which garage the waiting time will be more. Clear? Question is clear? Okay, so what you have to do? First we will complete garage A. First we will complete in garage A what is the length of the queue and what will be the waiting time for garage A. Then we will complete for garage B what will be the waiting time, what will be the length of the queue and what will be the waiting time. After that we will compare. Clear? So that's why first I have given the heading garage A. For garage A, what I have to calculate? I have to calculate the length of the queue and waiting time for the system. Okay, so first I will calculate for garage A length of queue, LQ. Okay, now what is the formula of LQ? That's what I am telling you. Just you have to remember the formula. Length of the queue, LQ is LQ equal to length of the queue, LQ equal to rho into LS. And what is LS? LS is with number of unit or length of the system. LS formula equal to rho divided by 1 minus rho. Clear? So LQ equal to rho into LS and LS equal to rho divided by 1 minus rho. Clear? So that thing I will write over here in the formula. Length of the queue, LQ equal to rho into LS. This is the thing I have to calculate. But I don't know what is the value of rho. I don't know what is the value of LS. So what is the value formula for rho? Rho equal to lambda divided by mu. And what is the formula of LS? LQ equal to 0.9. Yes, 0.9. And what is the formula of LS? LS equal to rho divided by 1 minus rho. So these two things I will calculate. These two value I will put over here and I will get length of the queue. This is equal to, what is lambda? Lambda is 1 by 25 divided by, what is mu? Mu is 1 by 15. Okay, so if we will solve it out, rho value we will get 0.6. You just compare my answer with your answer. Okay, so rho value, if you will solve it out by using calculator, rho value you will get 0.6. Okay, now come to LS, length of the system. This is equal to, what is rho? Rho is 0.6 divided by 1 minus 0.6. So if you will solve it out, you will get 1.5. You will get 1.5. Okay, I got the value of rho, I got the value of LS. Now these two value I will put in the equation. So length of the cube, LQ equal to how much? Rho into LS. This is equal to, rho is nothing but 0.6 into LS is nothing but 1.5. 15, 6 and 90, 1, 2, 0.9. This is the length of the cube for garage A. Clear? One thing we got. Next thing is we have to calculate the waiting time for garage A. This is one point. Second point is we have to calculate waiting time for garage A. This thing we have to calculate. Now once again, what will be the waiting time formula? Okay, so waiting time formula for the system is Ws equal to Ls by lambda. Here once again I am telling you why I am taking Ws and why not I am taking Wq. Because in the question, if you will read, in the question it is written at which garage you require more time of waiting including service time. Okay, if service time is included, then that will be waiting time of system. If you will exclude service time, if service time is not there, then that waiting time will be waiting line of a tube. Clear? So here we have to calculate waiting time of a system. The formula is Ls divided by lambda. Okay, so waiting time for the system equal to Ls divided by lambda, which is equal to, what is Ls? Ls value we got 1.5 divided by LQ value we will get, lambda value is how much? Lambda value we have 1 by 25. Lambda equal to 1 by 25. So if you will solve it, 1 by 5, if it will solve it, we will get 37.5. Okay, waiting time for the system is 37.5. And always don't forget to write the unit of the waiting time. The unit of time must be in second, or it may be in minute, or it may be in hour. Because lambda value we have taken in minute. Okay, so this waiting time, whatever the answer will come, it will be this much minutes. Okay, so the waiting time in car garage A is 37.5 minutes. Clear? So we have calculated what we have calculated. We have calculated what is the length of the queue for garage A and what is the waiting time for garage A. Similarly, we have to calculate for garage B. Okay, these two things we have to calculate for garage B. After that, we will compare the result and we will get the answer. Clear? So I think you will get it. Simple again, we will calculate it for garage B. So I will give the heading car garage B. Okay, so first, what is the value of service rate? That is mu. And what is the value of arrival rate? That is lambda. Okay, so for garage B, you can see in car garage B, LQ is 0.67. Yes, for car garage B, okay, it takes 25 minutes to wash one car. So what is the quantity? One car. How much time? 25 minutes. Okay, so it is a service rate. Okay, so service rate I will get 1 by 25 per minute. Okay, then arrival rate. How many cars are arriving? Cars arrive to this shop at an average rate of 1 every 45 minutes. One car in every 45 minutes. Okay, so it will be 1 divided by 45 per minute. Okay, so I got lambda and mu. Then directly I will calculate the answers. Okay, so length of the queue for car garage B, that is LQ equal to, the formula is rho into LS. And what is rho? Rho equal to lambda by mu. What is LS? LS equal to rho divided by 1 minus rho. 54.9. 56 I got. Okay. And what is the value of lambda? Lambda mean rho. Rho equal to lambda by mu. Okay. What is lambda? Lambda is 1 by 45 divided by mu is 1 by 25. Okay, if you solve it, rho value you will get 0.555. This is the value, rho value you will get. Okay, and if you put this rho value in this formula, 0.555 divided by 1 minus 0.555. So LS you will get 1.247. I don't know my answer is correct or not. If it is wrong, then you let me know. Huh? Okay, we got rho, we got LS. Then we'll put it in this formula. Okay, so LQ equal to rho into LS. So this is equal to, rho is 0.555 into LS is 1.247. Okay, if we solve it, LQ I got 0.692. Is it correct? 0.69. Yes, this is length of the queue for garage B. In garage B, the length of the queue is 0.692. Clear? Then next one is, I will find out what is the waiting time for garage B. Waiting time of garage B. Okay, so waiting time of the garage B, the formula is LS by lambda. The formula is LS by lambda. Okay, so this is equal to, what is LS? LS value I got 1.247 divided by lambda value I have, lambda is 1 by 45. 1 by 45. So if I solve it out, I will get 56.115. Yes, 56.115 minutes for garage B. Okay, 56.115 for garage B. Okay, so now I will make a summary. So garage A is there, garage B is there. Okay, so for garage A, what is the length of the queue and what is the waiting time? Similarly, for garage B, what is the length of the queue? What is the waiting time? Okay, so for garage B, what we got? For garage B, length of the queue is 0.692. So I'll write, for garage B, length of the queue is 0.692, and for garage B, waiting time for garage B is 56.115. 56.115 minutes. Similarly, for garage A, what is the length of the queue? For garage A, length of the queue is 0.9. Okay, so I will write here length of the queue I got 0.9. And what is the waiting time for garage A? For garage A, the waiting time was 37.5 minutes. Okay, so the waiting time was 37.5 minutes. Okay, so now come to the question. The first point is, at which garage you expect the bigger queue? So in garage A, the length of the queue is 0.9. In garage B, the length of the queue is 0.6. So in which garage the queue will be bigger? Come on, answer it. So in garage A, the queue will be bigger. Okay, so the answer of the first question is, in garage A, we can expect bigger queue. Right? Similarly, second point, at which garage you require more time of waiting? Okay, so for garage A, the waiting time is 37.5. For garage B, the waiting time is 56.115. So clearly, in garage B, the waiting time is more as compared to garage A. Clear? And you will get 10 marks. This was a 10 marks question in 2015. Clear? So, what is the tricky part in all these questions? The only tricky part is to identify the value of mu and lambda. If you can identify the value of mu and lambda correctly, your job is done. Okay, so you identify these two values very carefully. You see the question whether this time is given in minutes or per minutes, whether this time is given in hour or per hour. For example, in the previous problem, last class we have done. Okay, you see in this question, customers arrive at a rate of 20 customers per hour. Here it is already written per hour. Okay, means in 1 hour 20 customers are coming. So that's why lambda value we have taken 20. Number of customers is 20 divided by time is per hour, means per 1 hour. So 20 by 1. So 20 by 1 is nothing but 20. Similarly, mu we have taken 24. Why 24? In this question you see average number of customers that can be proceed by the cashier is 24 per hour. 24 customers are getting service per hour. Number of customers are 24 divided by per hour, means per 1 hour. 24 by 1 is nothing but 24. So that's why we have taken like this, because in the question it is the time is given per hour. Okay, so but here in this question that per word is not there. 15 minutes, 25 minutes. Okay, so that's why we have to approach in this manner. So the trick is customer divided by time. The time should be in the denominator. Clear? So that is the difference between this question and the previous question. The only striking part is very carefully you have to identify the value of mu and lambda. If these two values you can correctly, the remaining problem, just you put the answer, you put the formula, you will get the answer. Clear? So this is the thing. One more question we will do. One more question we will do. You see this question. Okay. You see this question. What is the question? I have already solved this question, so I'll just tell you how to do it. This is little bit different as compared to previous question. And what is the difference? I will tell you. The question is, in a railway yard, trains arrive at a rate of 30 trains in a day. In one day, how many trains are coming? 30 trains. So can you tell me this 30, what is this one? This is arrival rate or service rate? It is clearly written the trains will arrive at a rate of 30 trains in a day. So this 30 is nothing but arrival rate. Clear? And what do you mean by arrival? Arrival means I have to write lambda. Okay. So what is the value of lambda? How many trains? How many customer? 30 trains. So 30 divided by, what is the time? What is the time? Time is per day. One day is how many hours? One day is 24 hours. Yes. So per day means it is 24 per hour. Don't forget to write this unit. Huh? Right. This is one thing. Next, assuming the service time distribution to be exponential with an average of 36 minutes. Okay. Assuming the service time distribution to be exponential with an average of 36 minutes. So service time means it should be mu. Okay. So how many customer? So regarding the customer, it is not given. Means we will assume it is 1 divided by, what is the time? Time is given 36 minutes. 36 minutes. Patience, I will tell you. 387. I will tell. 37, 1 by 36 per minutes. Okay. So we have done like this. But here the thing is, one quantity is in hour, one quantity is in minute. So if you will take the lambda and mu value like this manner, you will get wrong answer. So what you have to do? Either you convert both the thing into hour, or you convert both the things into minutes. So my suggestion is, you see if two different units are there, then whichever is the smallest unit, you try to convert everything into smallest unit. Out of hour and minute, which one is smaller? Minute is smaller. So you try to convert hour into minute. 1 hour is how many minutes? 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 24 into 60. Okay. And it should be in minutes. Am I clear or not? Okay. Once again, I am telling what I have done here. Okay. In a railway ward, the trains arrive at a rate of 30 trains in a day. So arrive means it will be arrival rate. Arrival rate is nothing but lambda. How many trains? 30 trains. So in the numerator, I have written 30 divided by in a day. Okay. 1 day is how many hours? 1 day is 24 hours. 1 hour is how many minutes? 1 hour is 60 minutes. So I have divided 24 into 60. This is equal to, if you will cancel it out, it will be 1 by 48 per minute. Clear? Next, assuming the service time distribution to be exponential, 387, I think you are clear. Assuming service time distribution to be exponential with an average of 36 minutes. Okay. So service time is given with an average of 36 minutes. Okay. So service time mu equal to, what is the quantity? Quantity for service time is not given. So I will write 1 divided by 36 minutes. So it will be 1 by 36 per minute. So that's why this is the way to calculate lambda and mu. You keep it in mind. You read the question very carefully, whether it is written 36 minutes or it is written 36 per minutes. They can ask the question, they can give the question like this, they can give the question like this also. I will tell you what is the difference. If in the question they will give 36 minutes, then the answer will be 1 by 36 per minute. If in the question simply they will write 36 per minute, in that case your mu value will be equal to simply 36 per minute. You try to understand what is the difference between these two lines. Two types of question they may ask. Okay, like in this question they have given the service time is 36 minutes. Okay, then if it is 36 minutes they will give, only time they will give, then number of customer divided by time, you will get the answer. If in the question instead of this one they will write 36 per minutes, if this per word will be there, then no need to convert it, directly you take the value and you write the answer. Clear? So you, these two things you keep it in your mind. Clear? Okay. Because if this lambda value and mu value you cannot write correctly, your complete problem will be wrong. Your the solution of the complete problem depends upon whether this lambda value and mu value you have written correctly or not. Clear? Okay. Then next thing is, next job is done, nothing is there. Next, the question is calculate the expected Q size. Okay, so you have to calculate the expected Q size. Q size means we have to calculate length of the Q. Q size means we have to calculate length of the Q. Formula is rho into LS. We have to calculate rho, we have to calculate LS. LS means length of the system. Rho equal to lambda by mu, lambda value 1 by 48, mu value 1 by 36, rho will get LS value, you in place of rho you put 3 by 4, you will get the value of LS as 3, then LQ equal to rho into LS. Rho value we got 3 by 4, LS value we got 3, you just put over here, you will get length of the Q is 9 by 4. Clear? Then the next question is, next one is probability that the Q size exceed 10. The size of the Q is either 10 or it will be more than 10. So for that thing, I have given you one formula. When the size is related to size of the Q, okay, you can see this one. Probability that there are more than or equal to K units in the system. Probability that there are more than or equal to K units. The formula is rho to the power K. Okay, so that only he is asking. Probability that the Q size exceed 10. Means it will be 10 or it will be more than 10. Okay, for that one, the formula is when the Q size is more than, greater than K, the formula is rho to the power K. Okay, so that formula only we are going to use here. Okay, so when probability that when the Q size is more than 10, so rho to the power K. What is rho? Rho value we got 3 by 4. So we have written 3 by 4 to the power K. What is K? K is 10. It will exceed 10. So here K value is 10. 3 by 4 to the power 10. And we will get the answer. Clear? So what is the bottom line? The bottom line is these two things. If by reading the question, the arrival rate and service rates, you can identify accurately. If these two things you can identify accurately, then your job is done. Remaining thing, you just read the question, put the formula, you will get the answer. It is as simple as like that. Clear? You just keep it in your mind. You take very much precaution while calculating the value of lambda and mu. And for that, you read the question very carefully because students normally make mistakes over here. You read the question, whether in the question they are given 36 minutes or 36 per minutes. If it is 36 minutes, then the answer will be 1 by 36. Number of quantity will be 1, time will be 36 because this is time, this is called time. This is the rate of time per minutes. It will be the rate of time. That is the difference between these two. If 36 minutes it is given, then it will be 1 by 36. If 36 per minutes it is given, then directly you take 36 per minute. Mu equal to directly you take 36. Okay, you see the difference between these two. Don't make this mistake in the exam. That's why 2 types of questions I have done. Clear? Only this much things you have to keep it in your mind. Okay, so the next one is, so this is the various kinds of problem. Only thing is they will play with the value of lambda and mu. The question will remain same. Okay, only they will play with the value of lambda and value of mu. If these two things you can identify accurately, then your job is done. So like this, we have one more question. I will just calculate, we have only 5 minutes, so I will just calculate the value of lambda and mu. Okay, so in the remaining thing, very easily you can be able to do. So you read this question. The question is this one: a self-service store employs one cashier at its counter. Okay, one cashier means there will be only one server in the system. Okay, 9 customers arrive on an average of every 5 minutes. So can you tell me what is this one? You put a message. What is the meaning? Is it arrival rate or is it service rate? 9 customers arrive on an average every 5 minutes. So this means here it is nothing but your arrival rate. Yes, it is arrival rate. And arrival rate is nothing but lambda. And can you tell me what is the value of lambda by reading this line? By reading this line, 9 customers arrive on an average every 5 minutes. Yes, absolutely. So how many customers? In the numerator, there should be number of customers. Yes, number of customers are 9. What is the time? 5 minutes. You see this carefully, whether it is 5 minutes or 5 per minutes. Simply it is written 5 minutes. Only time it is given. So it will be 9 by 5 per minute. Okay. Next is, and the cashier can serve 10 customers in 5 minutes. So can you tell me what is the value of service rate? Mu. The cashier can service 10 customers. How many customers? 10 customers. So in the numerator, I will write 10. What is the time? 5 minutes. So 10 by 5. This much? Yes, correct. This much per minute. So I have calculated lambda. I have calculated mu. Then remaining thing is nothing is there. You see, assuming the Poisson arrival and exponential service time, forget about this. Find out this thing. Average number of customer in the system means length of the system. Average number of customer in the queue means length of the queue. Average time of customer spends in the system. Time means waiting time for the system. Average time the customer waiting before being served means waiting time in the queue. Only formulas are there. Just put the formula, you will get the answer. Okay, so that's why I told you, if you can correctly identify the value of lambda and mu, 90% of your job is done. Okay, so remaining thing is you just read the question, write the formula, you will get the answer. Only these 8 formula you have to remember. These 8 formulas, whatever I have given, you have to remember. By remembering this formula, all the problems related to this topic you can be able to solve. Right? Okay, so I have some 2-3 more problems are there, but time is very less. Time is not there to solve those problems. So what I will do, the complete solution of all these problems today I will post in the group. Okay, and tomorrow you just try to remember the formula and you try to solve whatever the questions I will post in the group. Along with the answer I will post. Don't worry. All the questions along with answers I will post in the group. Your job is by tomorrow. Tomorrow is holiday. By tomorrow you have to remember this 8 formula and you have to understand this 5 question, 5 or 6 question, whatever the question I will put. Clear? If you can do this much of thing, by tomorrow. So Monday, we will start our revision of the previous units. Clear? So in this topic, there are only two types of probability. One theoretical question is explain MM1 model. Okay, MM1 model, and the second thing is problem. Mostly, maximum time they will ask problems related to this unit. Okay, and for this problem, only you have to remember the formulas. That's 8 formulas, and you have to identify the value of arrival and service rate carefully. If these two things you can do, then this topic is over. Clear? Okay, so we'll meet on Monday. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in WhatsApp, and the PDF of today's class and today's lecture video, I will post in the group. Have a good day. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Are you able to hear me? Students